What's up, everybody? ShonnyDman here, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Talk. I hope you guys are excited. We have another special guest on. As per usual, we are using Discord for this episode. So if you see, that's why you kind of see the green box lights up as we talk each time. But I just want to give that a heads up. Other than that, I'm very excited to have this guest on. So without further ado, just tell us who you are and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Hannah Dove, and I am a cosplayer from Texas.
You're about the third or fourth person I've had on who's from Texas.
Really?
Yeah.
We have a pretty big cosplay community, I've found, but I mean, the state is huge, so.
Yeah, that is true.
Why.
That is true. I think Amalia Cat, she was on an earlier episode. She's from Texas, and I think I have somebody who's coming on this upcoming weekend. She's also from Texas, so there's a good bit of y'all for sure.
Texas represent. There you go.
Exactly. So primarily, you're Texas. I've had somebody from Florida.
There's lots of cosplayers there too. Texas, Florida, California. I feel like definitely
Utah.
hotspot.
I think Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ohio. I think, and then maybe around the Pennsylvania area. So it's been all over the map with these guests.
That's awesome, though.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Also, if you see me like poking at my eye, it's because of my lash.
Oh, no, it's not a big deal. So tell us about, to get things started, tell us a little bit about what got you into cosplaying.
Yeah. So I am, next month will mark 3 years of cosplaying for me. I started back in 2020 when the pandemic started, because it was something that I was always really interested in, but never got to fully do. I went to just, I believe, 1 or 2 cons as Rey from Star Wars back when I was in high school. Just kind of dipping my toe in the water just for fun, and because I wanted to go meet some celebrities that were at the con. But that was like my first kind of taste of cosplay, but then I didn't go back to it. I didn't do it regularly, didn't go to cons regularly or anything like that. But then when the pandemic happened and I downloaded TikTok, as I think a lot of people did because we didn't know what to do with all the time on our hands being locked inside. I saw that people were cosplaying, and I thought that's so cool that people are doing this just like in their homes, like not even just at cons, but they're just doing it in their homes and putting together these cosplays and making these really creative videos. And so I just thought, like I said, like we all have a bunch of time on our hands. I don't have, much to do. So I think I'll give it a shot, and it just kind of sucked me down the wormhole of cosplay and also anime. I hadn't watched anime before the pandemic started, and so I just started, and I've grown from there. Made so many amazing friends in this community. Gone to so many amazing cons. I love going to cons, and so now I just make TikTok content, Instagram content, and just go to cons, and it's just been a blast.
Okay, interesting. So how long have you been? Have you been doing it? Have you been doing cosplaying?
I'm coming up on 3 years next month.
Oh, okay.
Like March 17th or something. I wrote it down in my notes because I'm cheesy and like to celebrate little like anniversaries. And I was like, this is the day that I first posted on TikTok. I want to say it was like March 17th, but yeah, so almost 3 years.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So really not that. So like you mentioned, 2020 is kind of around where it kicked off for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was the first cosplay that you done?
So the first cosplay ever was when I did Rey from Star Wars back in high school, and I went to Fan Expo Dallas, And I just went because like I had some friends who were nerdy and I wanted to meet some of the celebrities that were there. Like Stan Lee was actually there and I got to meet him and get his autograph. And so that was the first ever cosplay that I did. But when it came to like really getting into it, making TikTok content and posting and becoming more serious with cosplay, I still had my Rey cosplay, so I used her, but then I also had Silk from Marvel
Oh,
and yeah, and Belle from Beauty and the Beast. And then once I started watching anime, my first anime cosplay was a female version of Deku from My Hero Academia. And so now mostly I do anime cosplays, I'd say, but I have other ones from other cartoons like this one where I'm Catra from She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. And I do have some superhero cosplays like Spider-Gwen. I've done some Genshin, even though I don't play Genshin. I did for a little bit and then I gave up because it was like too much for me. Um, yeah, and I only have one Star Wars cosplay now. I don't do Rey anymore, but I do Ahsoka because she's my favorite Star Wars character. And I don't do Belle anymore, but I do Elsa, and Anna's in the
okay.
works. So yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I think there's a little static coming in. I
Oh,
think
is there?
I think so. That's what it sounds like. Let me just double check. Should be fine now.
Okay, sorry. I know I don't have any like fancy. I don't have a setup or anything, but
No, no, you're fine. Yeah, it just sounds like. Let's see. Make sure. Let's get care of that. Okay, that should be fine. It kind of did it when I was messing with something, so hopefully it fixed it. Um, that's cool. So I'm not really into like deep into anime. It's very precise for me on what kind of anime I watch.
mm,
If I watch any, I was telling somebody who I had on a couple of weeks ago that this was last year, 2022. I finished up watching Inuyasha, which I grew up with Inuyasha, but I never. But it was like an Adult Swim, and it would come on so late at night, and I
right.
fell out of it. But I was able to like start from start to finish with it, and then there was Yu Yu Hakusho
Mm,
again. I knew of the show. It would come on late at night on Adult Swim. Never really paid attention to it. But again, I watched it from start to finish. Loved it.
yeah.
One Piece is very long for my taste.
Yeah.
And it,
Me and mine too. I've
yeah,
never watched it, but
yeah. And
it's
so it,
I mean, I get overwhelmed with just like 50 episodes.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's just a lot, and so, but I've never gotten into shows like My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, Full Metal Alchemist. I've never really gotten into those kind of animes, just because I'm just like, I don't know if it really piques my interest. 'Cause again, I grew up with like very old schoolish anime,
right.
Gundam, uh, Big O, and a few other ones as well. So, I mean, listen, if you like anime, roll with it. I could not tell you a name of any of these characters from this newer generation of anime.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely been some good stuff like with the new generation, like Chainsaw Man. I'm sure you've heard like the
Oh
crazy
yes, yes.
Man. I know Jujutsu Kaisen was a big one. I haven't finished that one. I got like halfway through, and then I don't know something like I enjoy anime, but sometimes I'll just randomly like drop it, even if I like it. I don't know. I guess I'm just not thinking about it. But I'm pretty picky with my anime too. Like, there's a lot that if it doesn't really grab my attention, I'm just kind of like, ugh. Like I don't want to
Yeah,
feel forced to watch something.
right.
Um, but I mean, my favorites, I love Fruits Basket, Attack on Titan,
Oh,
and Demon Slayer. Those are probably my top three. Erased is also really good and very underrated. It's only 12 episodes on Netflix. Everyone needs to go watch Erased. It's so good. The Promised Neverland, only the first season though. The second season, um, yeah.
now I do like Attack on Titans. Again, I've kind of like fell out of it, and I think I could be wrong, but is it like season 4 about to come out, or is it season 5?
So it's still season four, but they're really like milking it because season
Oh,
4 is the last season. So now, actually, I think in like 5 days, it's going to be season 4, part 3 is coming out.
oh wow, that's really milking it.
So, but I think this part is the last. I think this should be it. Like we thought that the first part was going to be it, and then they announced part 2, and we were like, okay, and then so yeah, now it's part 3. But I do love that show, even if they're milking it. But I mean, it is a lot. It's a lot to squeeze in the last season. A lot of stuff happens, and it's crazy. But
Oh, it seems like it.
I'm really excited to watch that. I don't know. It's one of those shows where I remember watching part 2 of it, and it was one of those things where I was like, yes, like this is my favorite anime, one of my favorite animes. I can't wait to watch. Like I love it. But then when it come time, I'd be like, I don't want to watch this because it's so like heavy and intense that I was just like, no, I don't want to do this. But I need to watch it, but I don't, but I
Right.
do. It's a whole
Yeah,
thing.
it definitely when I because I remember watching it when I was younger. For the first time it came out, I was just like,
Mhm.
this is terrifying.
It's a lot. That's why I didn't watch it for so long, is because I was like, that seems really scary, and I'm not one for scary things, but
Oh,
I've
really?
started.
Oh, well.
I'm a little less of a baby now, but I was like, I need to watch this because everyone raves about it, and it hooked me, and I love it.
Oh, I mean, I'm a big I love horror stuff. I just love it. I love like the cheesy like B and C tier kind of horror movies, like the fake gore and stuff like that. You can see like the camera production in the background. I don't know why I love those low budget horror movies so much. I guess just because they're at times they're like so ridiculous. It's really funny and I really enjoy them. But
Right.
I do like a good scary movie. It's been a while since I found a movie that really scared me. Um, maybe like creep me out more, but not. Yeah, it's been a while since I found something that scares me. So
Right, right. Yeah, I can't really do like super heavy gore, but I tend to really like psychological horror, or I guess more like
oh,
thrillers, whatever you would call what I'm gonna forget his name now, which is so bad. Jordan Peele, what he does, like the
okay,
like, more thriller, psychological horror suspense, like I love that. I love that.
okay. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see that. Most times I'm just like I just want to go in and have a good time and turn off my brain because like in about 2 weeks, Scream 6 comes out
Oh,
and
uh-huh.
I'm excited for that. I've grown up with the Scream movies. Hopefully, it stops at 6 and doesn't go like a Fast and Furious is doing right now. Because
Right.
that's really milking something. Because at a certain like it's just at a certain point, when does it like start to get really ridiculous? Like you're gonna
Right.
drop a car from space or something. It's just
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
those things.
yeah, definitely.
Oof. Um, so other than anime, what's some other movies that you like?
I'm a huge Star Wars and Marvel nerd, so
Okay.
I love all of that. Although honestly, with Marvel's recent movies, I'm kind of like not as enthusiastic, which makes me sad. But I love like peak Avengers Marvel. Yeah, definitely Star Wars, and then like also other shows. I'm a huge fan of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. That's where I met Ahsoka, and she's been a really special character
Mhm.
for me. Star Wars Rebels. I'm currently watching The Last of Us, as many others
Oh
are, and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
really loving it. See, that's kind of like horror too. Like I can do that. Like I might kind of like look away, kind of squeeze my eyes a couple times, but I'm loving that. I'm so excited for The Mandalorian coming back. I believe Monday. Um, maybe it's Wednesday. I can't
Wednesday,
remember.
next Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. So very excited for that. Trying to think of what else. Like what else besides Star Wars and Marvel shows? That's mostly like when people ask like what shows are you watching? I'm like it's something involving one of those giant media franchises, you know.
Right.
Um,
Did you
yeah, definitely.
did you enjoy? Because it's a very split fan base when it comes to Star Wars. Did you enjoy the sequel trilogy?
Yes, I did, and I like if when I watch them now, I feel like I'm a little like my view of it is a little jaded because of things that the fandom has said and pointed out, which like fair enough. There are definitely things to critique in it.
Hmm.
But I mean, they're not perfect movies, and there are definitely things that I would want changed. But I still enjoyed them. I mean, it really, for me, is hard to not like a movie. Like, if I'm entertained and I'm enjoying it, enjoying the characters,
Yeah.
like I like.
Yeah.
I only have like one movie that I absolutely hate, and it's really dumb. It's The Secret Life of Pets. I have such a heavy disdain for that movie. Um, but I still enjoy them. I think Rise of Skywalker is definitely the most like not great in the series, and there's definitely like the
Really?
most flaws in that one. Yeah, I think I found a lot of flaws in it, but again, I still enjoyed it just because I was so invested in the characters. I get so attached to characters. So I still liked it, and I still like the sequels. I think for honestly, like even though they're flawed, Force Awakens is probably my favorite Star Wars movie alongside Empire Strikes Back. But yeah, so I enjoyed them, flaws and all.
Yeah, because that's interesting. I seen some people make the case that the Last Jedi is the worst of the three.
Mm. I
Um,
really liked I really liked The Last Jedi.
uh,
I know that like a lot of people were hating on it when it came out. And like again, everyone has their opinions and there are definitely things that could be fixed. Like I don't think the Snoke thing was handled like super well. But I still really liked it.
yeah, it's just not was. I don't know. Because you can go look this up too. 'Cause I remember like I mean it was on TikTok. I saw this the first time where like it's toward the end of Rise of Skywalker, and it's where that woman is the elderly woman on Tatooine is just like, who are you? And it's like Ray Skywalker. Like there's videos of people like hating that moment, like with a
Uh-huh.
passion. I could care less. Um,
I feel
I
like my main issue with that movie was Palpatine. I feel like
yeah,
didn't
they didn't
they didn't
really
set it up super
give
well.
yeah they didn't give really a good explanation on like how he returned. Now,
Yeah.
you could probably say like in some of these newer Star Wars shows, they're kind of like adding that detail in. Um, but it's just at the time it just wasn't done well and all that. I feel
Yeah.
like Finn was a wasted character. Uh,
And I love Finn, and he could have been like so amazing. And I hate that he got the treatment that he did.
yeah, and I think Daisy Ridley has come out and said that she wants to return as Rey. I
Mhm.
don't know if they're gonna I don't know if they're going to do another series of Star Wars movies.
I mean, I think they have like a trilogy or some kind of series in the works, but it's no longer the Skywalker saga.
Yeah,
Like as
I
far
think
as
they're
I've heard,
gonna.
so maybe she would make like a cameo in
Yeah,
something. But
honestly,
as far as
and that's I think that's the thing most about it. It's just like they had an opportunity to tell a different story,
mhm,
but they went with the Skywalker saga again after we just
mhm,
had basically 9 movies already of that.
right.
So. But again, like you said, it's okay. It's fine. I would out of other than the original trilogy, and obviously those are classics.
Mhm.
Revenge of the Sith is good. Um, uh, I love Rogue One.
I love Rogue One so much. I love Rogue One. Have you watched Andor?
Yes, yes, and
I
love it.
could rave for hours about how great Andor is.
Oh yeah,
It's so good.
it is literally. I was telling something when Andor came out. I was telling after it finished up and everything, I was telling people it's a good show. It's it's either tied with the Mandalorian or it's a strong second. But
Mhm.
I was like it's obviously better than the Book of Boba Fett, and I it's better than the Kenobi series.
I
Um,
was severely disappointed in the Kenobi series,
yeah,
honestly.
it's just again, I guess it's just one of those things where like you probably could have not done it, and it would have been just fine.
Yeah, and honestly, like the last episode of Kenobi was all I needed. Like the fight with Darth Vader, that's really all I needed. So when people say like, "Oh, I haven't watched it yet," I'm like, "Just watch the last episode." You really don't. You don't really need to watch the rest of it.
The
It's not.
lightsaber, like it was really cool to see Hayden Christensen back, and the final lightsaber battle between Kenobi and Vader was really cool. And I mean, they kind of set it up for there to be potentially a season two, but I don't think so. I think it's just a one off, fan service kind of thing. Um, and then Book of Boba Fett was just the only good episodes with that was that involved the Mandalorian. That was really that's really disappointing because Boba Fett was such a good. I think people's expectation. I don't know what they thought they were getting.
Mhm.
I think people were expecting old school Boba Fett, but you got a much more wiser season Boba Fett,
Mhm.
and so eh, I don't
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah. I enjoyed the last episode. I know some people were ragging on the finale, but I really liked the finale because it was just a bunch of action and Boba Fett riding a Rancor, I
yeah,
was like, that's Star Wars. It's fun. Like, it's, just fun stuff like that. But I also love the more serious tone of Star Wars, like with Andor. I think that
yeah.
for that reason, that's why Andor was
Oh man,
really, really.
there were so many good lines in Endor that just like
Mhm. Yeah.
just
And I already loved Cassian so much from Rogue One. And then after watching that show, he's definitely like another one of my
oh yeah,
top Star Wars characters. And I guess I think we're getting a season two. I don't know. I really need
yeah,
a
I think
season two.
so.
It was so good.
And then there's the Han Solo movie, which a lot of people, I think it's a good movie. I think people didn't like the choice for Han Solo.
I
Um,
liked it
Madonna,
fine. Like,
it was fine.
yeah, it's not something super, like, it's not a very notable movie, but again, I enjoyed it. And honestly, like, I remember when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, okay, cool, it was good. And then I watched it again, like, years later with a friend who'd never seen Star Wars before, so we were doing, like, a big marathon. And I was like, I feel like I actually enjoyed it more the second time around. I don't know why. I just, I just did. I was like, you know what, this is better than I remember it being. Like, this is fun. I like it. So I didn't think it was too shabby.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. It was just like I think most people just didn't like the Han Solo, but I mean it was a pretty fun kind of Western gangster kind of movie. Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian was really good. Like
Mhm.
it was pretty solid. So,
For sure,
uh,
for sure.
did you watch? Have you seen Ant Man and the Wasp? I know it's a big shift.
I have not yet. I
Okay,
need maybe I can go see it like tomorrow or something.
it's
I need to go
it's
when
fine. I gave it like a 7 out of 10. Um,
to,
I think there are some good things about the Kang the Conqueror. There's really, I think people because there's been a lot of hate about it, and
I've seen that, yeah.
and I think it's people misunderstanding about how things work. Because I've seen people tell them like, look, this wasn't a full powerful Kang, and
Mm.
it's just I just seen people just discuss it, and it's a fine movie. It's
Yeah.
it
I've heard it's very Star Wars, which I
it
think is kind
is.
of fun because Marvel hasn't really gone. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is like the only like really space thing, or maybe a turn. Anyways, I feel like even with
Yeah,
Guardians being space, that it seems like Ant Man and the Wasp has this movie has the most like Star Warsy feel about
yeah.
it.
I think too. It's this movie. This movie probably should have been a Fantastic Four based movie and not an
Mhm.
Ant Man movie. Um,
Right.
just because just the idea of the plot and things like that, it just made more sense to probably be more of a Fantastic Four movie. But again, it's not bad. It's it's middle tier in my opinion.
Right, right. I'm sure I'll enjoy it because again, I enjoy pretty much everything except for Secret Life of Pets.
I've never
But
watched that actually.
don't bother. It's just, but but I don't know. Like even though I know I'll enjoy it, I've like enjoyed all of Marvel's recent movies. I don't know. I just personally don't love the multiverse direction they're taking. I feel like it gets really convoluted and they're trying to do too much. And I feel like when they're trying to do too much with the plot, like not only does it get confusing, but they lose the characters and the characterization. And at least for me, characters are a really big thing. Like I really prefer when things are character driven. Like that's why like for anime, like I love slice of life stuff a lot because it's not about like the action and all that. It's about the characters and their development and how they grow. And I feel like a lot of times when plots get super convoluted, like with action movies, like what Marvel's doing, you can really easily lose the characters. And that's like what's really the heart of the story and what grounds you and what's like connects you to them. I kind of feel that way about like Wanda in Multiverse of Madness. And then I hate it because I loved her character and it kind of left a like taste in my mouth. So and then I'm like I have to get back like in my love for the character. I mean I still loved her, but um yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of like all the multiverse stuff. Like I only love the multiverse in Spider-Man
Oh, okay,
Way
that's
Home
fair.
because we got the cameos,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
got Toby and Andrew.
And
But
there's a
other
lot
than
of
that,
people. There's a lot of people. You know, I mean, obviously not. There's very few movies that are perfect, but I've seen a lot of people just talk about how flawed No Way Home is. But listen, it's a fan service movie,
yeah,
that plain and simple. And so,
yeah,
I
I think it knew that too.
yeah. I think I think at times people try to overthink things,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, it's just a movie. You don't have to overthink it. It's not that big of a
Yeah, yeah,
deal.
yeah.
Um,
Especially when something's made to be like a fan service movie,
yeah,
that it's just for the fun of it. But like for Multiverse of Madness, I feel like they really wanted that to be like a standout thing and like
yeah,
this new era and really introducing the multiverse, and it was just trying to do too much and it didn't work in my opinion. But
yeah. I think I am curious on how when we get the X-Men on how that's going to be set up. I told my best friend about it. We talked about it a while back. I think you could probably do an entire saga just for the X-Men,
oh, for sure.
because it wouldn't make sense to make these individual movies and to weave them in like that. Like it just makes more sense to have its own saga and then work your way around that. Because there's a lot of different stories and things you can do with the X-Men. It doesn't have to be like a saga that's like 10 years. You can really shorten it or something like that.
Yeah,
But I am all excited. I'm ready for the X-Men to come. You know,
me too, me too.
Deadpool 3 is coming out in a couple of years. Hugh
Oh yeah, yeah,
Jackman is
yeah.
back as Logan.
Hmm,
So
hmm.
I'm very excited for all that. There yet, and it looks like Marvel is learning a lesson. Because it looks like they're kind of like slowing things down.
Yeah.
Because they're putting out way too much stuff. Because you were getting like, because I remember after 2020, I guess it's 2021 is when this started. You had
Mhm.
you had WandaVision, you had Falcon and the Winter Soldier, um, Loki. There's Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, Marvel's What
Mhm.
Ifs.
Mhm.
What else?
Hulk, Hawkeye.
Yep. And then along with that, you had uh, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, The Eternals, Wakanda Forever. There was just
Mhm.
so much going on in such a short time span. It was a lot.
Yeah.
Some of the shows were bad. Some of the movies were decent. Um, eh. so, did you, so I don't know. You watched all the Marvel shows, right? Which one out of the Marvel shows? What did you like, and what you didn't like?
I loved WandaVision and Moon Knight. Those two are definitely my two favorites. I can't even say like top two because they're like on the same level. I
Mm,
like try to pick which one, but I can't. I love them both. And I really really want another season of Moon Knight and just to see more of Moon Knight.
yeah.
I love Oscar Isaac's performance. He was brilliant. He like really brought a lot of emotion and like a whole new layer to the MCU, and I loved it. Um, I really liked Captain America or Falcon and Winter Soldier. I really liked that one. I know some people weren't a huge fan, but I really liked it. I loved Loki up until the last episode, and so the last episode like made me so angry that I just kind of can't see it the same.
Oh,
Uh, I really liked Hawkeye. Honestly, like kind of all those like the first I guess like wave of
mm,
shows I really liked. I thought What If was very not good. I really didn't like What If.
okay.
I don't think I even bothered finishing it, or if I did, it was like on as background noise. Um, just was not a fan. She Hulk was pretty good. Like I enjoyed it, but it's not amazing or whatever.
Yeah,
Miss
I thought it was
Marvel,
average.
I yeah, Miss Marvel. Honestly, I feel like I got confused about the plot because I feel like I was doing something else when I was watching it, or like wasn't paying close enough attention. But I really loved like Kamala and just the characters in it, and also the animations that they did, like
Oh
those
yeah.
animations, special effects, like how they like would incorporate like text that they were
Yep.
sending, like just the visuals. It was very creative. So that one I thought was good, and like for the Marvels coming up, I'm most excited to see Kamala in that more than like Carol or anything like that. Um, yeah, I think those were all the shows. I think I covered them. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I enjoyed Miss Marvel. I enjoyed Moon Knight. WandaVision was good. Falcon and Winter Soldier was fine with me. Loki, I enjoyed. I really enjoyed Hawkeye. What If was cool because it kind of gave you a taste of the multiverse basically, and different realities and things like that. Um, and then the other one, I think that made She-Hulk. Like I said, that was a lot of controversy with that show.
Mm,
But watching it from start to finish, I thought it was about average. I mean, there
yeah.
were some good parts. There were some seeing Daredevil and in it, the highlight. Um, but it was about average at best.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know if I think it was going to get a season two, but I don't think it is anymore.
Interesting.
So I
Hadn't heard
could be
about
wrong,
that.
but I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere where it's not going to get a season two.
Right.
But she is supposed to be She-Hulk is supposed to be in like that new Captain America movie with Anthony Mackie,
Oh,
which is
interesting.
which is weird because from what it sounds like it's more of a Hulk movie than a Captain America movie because right now, because there's different rumors about it. There, She-Hulk's in it, the Hulk's in it, Red Hulk's in it, um, and then the leader, who's a Hulk villain's in it, and it's just I don't know. I am curious to see what happens with that. I figured we would get a Captain America movie with Anthony Mackie. Um, that was interesting to keep an eye on for sure.
Right, right. That's really interesting. I haven't really read too much about that movie, so that's very interesting.
Yeah, the thing is cool. The cool thing about it is like I never read if I have read comics, then it's been primarily Spider-Man comics. But like these were comics that I would get out of a newspaper uh when they were doing that a while back. But I never
Hmm.
read comics or anything like that. So a lot of these characters that I'm watching with fresh eyes and going in with like a fresh kind of knowledge about it.
Right.
That's why I like Miss Marvel as much as I did. I thought she was a very cool character. Her powers were
Yeah.
pretty cool. Now, obviously, I know her powers are different from the
Mm,
show and in the comics. But I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed Moon Knight.
yeah.
It's I think that can be said for most shows. If you look at like The Last of Us, I never played the game. Don't know much more about it, but I enjoyed The Last of Us.
Mhm.
There's Halo the series. It's the same thing, and I feel like there's another one. Oh, Lord of the Rings, Ring of Power.
Oh yeah, I liked Rings of Power. I
Yeah,
really
see,
did.
I did too. I thought it was a pretty, it's a pretty interesting show. But again,
Mhm.
when you have people who are like hardcore, do it right or I'll kill you mentality, it's
Yeah,
just,
see,
it's,
I'm a casual Lord of the Rings enjoyer. Like I've seen all the movies and I really liked them, but I don't like know everything. Like I
yeah,
know my friend was super into it and or is super into it, and so going to Rings of Power, she was talking about the I'm gonna probably say it wrong. The Cimmerillion. It's like another book,
oh,
and
no, I
it's
think so.
a
Yeah, I think I know what you're
different
talking about.
time. And I think the show they were hoping was going to be based on the Cimmerillion, but it only had like some pieces in it. I don't know. So like all that stuff, I have no idea. But what was in the show, I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think what else. What else? So yeah, I guess it's just I'm just kind of like, if you don't like the show, just don't watch the show.
Mhm.
Um, because I remember when Halo the series came out, and like I said, I enjoyed it, but there are so many people who didn't enjoy it because it wasn't what they thought it was going to be.
Mhm.
Um, and what was making me mad was like people would hate the show, but they will watch the show and then make a review of the show that they talk about how much they hate it. And it's like, what's the point in that? So, uh, I think one of the things I saw with The Last of Us was Bella Ramsey was talking about how I think like the creators told her not to play the video game,
Mhm.
or I think it's probably, I don't think there's books or anything like that. I think it's just video game, right? I
Mhm.
think.
I think so. I haven't played the game either.
Oh, so I think they told her not to play the video game, and like before the show came out, people were already kind of like mad about that. They were like, "Oh no, they're not going to go exactly by the game and all this stuff." But turns out, pretty much everything they've done up to this point has been pretty good, and a lot of people like it.
Yeah,
Episode 3 was it?
the
People
game's
didn't
very.
like that as much.
Which one?
Episode 3, I think that was with Bill and Frank is the name, if I remember right.
Oh yeah, I think that it wasn't like that in the game, but I heard that a lot of people loved it because it expanded on them and like gave them
Yeah.
like a better story than in the game. I thought that episode was really great. It was so it tugged at my heartstrings, but yeah,
I'm not. Oh yeah, yeah. I seen a lot of people say the same thing. It like really hit them on like an emotional level for sure.
yeah, it was really great. And the performances were wonderful.
I love anything with Nick Offerman in it.
Yeah, he's great.
He's very
I don't think
much.
I've ever seen him in like a serious role before. Because I think the only thing I've ever seen him in was The Office. I mean, not The Office, Parks and Rec.
I love Parks and
Um,
Rec.
Yeah, so that's like the only thing I think I've ever seen him in. So to see like a different side of him on The Last of Us was really cool.
Yeah, and so yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. I'm very excited to see on what happens towards the end of season 1.
Mhm.
For sure. Because I'm very picky about the shows I watch. Because right now I've been binge watching the X Files the past several weeks,
Mhm.
and I knew of the X Files, but I never watched it. And then I watched it, and I was just like, why have I not found this before in my life? This is amazing.
Right.
And so it's
I've
a really
never
good
seen.
show.
I've heard good things.
Definitely need to give it a try for sure. It's pretty wild. Oh, that was me. Um, what else? So let's see. Outside of the Marvel and let's see, and Star Wars, let's see. What's some TV shows? Um, Adventure Time. Have you ever watched that?
No, I missed the train. I missed the
Oh
boat
my
on
God, that's
Adventure
heck
Time and like, kind of the classic Cartoon Network stuff. I missed out on that.
disappointing, but that's okay.
Oh.
Um, what else was? Let's see. What's some other good shows? Parks and Rec is good.
Hmm.
Let's see. The Office is good. There's a show on Hulu. I don't know if it's still on there, but it's called The Superstore. That's really funny and really good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I've heard of that.
That's a pretty good one. I've never really cared for Supernatural.
Never watched it.
Okay, I like the idea of it when I first watched it, and then it kind of like I don't know. I was like I don't like it now. It's weird. Um,
Right.
what are some good shows? Law and Order. Never watched Law and Order before, uh, but I watched SVU, and that was just that that made me tired. And so, but I mean, it's pretty good.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm very picky about the shows I watch. So,
Right, right.
I think somebody had on a couple weeks ago was like, you need to watch Peaky Blinders, and I watched like the first couple episodes. I was like, okay, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So
What's that on? Like what
it's
platform?
that one is on Netflix.
Okay.
It's very hard.
Gotcha.
It's very it takes a little bit to get into just because it's the way British people talk and the word verbiage they use is kind of like what is this? And so, but it's
Gotcha,
an
gotcha.
interesting show. I will say that. But but yeah, I don't know. Shows aren't as good as they used to be. So I don't know. Who knows what happens? But
Yeah.
I'm excited. Oh, who I am excited to have one of your friends on. By the way, oh shoot, what's her name? She was. I think you both posted a picture today of like, uh, you were Spider Gwen and she was Silk.
Oh, yeah, Isabel.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, she's coming on soon. Uh, I'm trying to think if I have anybody else that you might know that's coming on.
Well, that's awesome. Isabel's awesome. She's really great. We're actually planning another like little cosplay duo slash shoot right now. But she's super sweet.
Is she from Texas too?
She is,
Okay. How
yes.
did y'all? So how did y'all meet? Is it through cosplaying?
Yeah, just through cosplaying. I can't remember like if I found her on probably found her on TikTok first, and then we probably just became mutuals, and then she's just started talking more. But really, like when I really started talking to her was when she posted on her story saying like, "Hey, I want to do the Spider Gwen, Spider, Mary Jane, and Silk shoot." And I was like, "Well, I have Gwen if you're interested." And like we're both in Texas. So it just kind of worked out from there. So we've just become friends from there, and
Okay.
yeah, I've met so many great friends in the cosplay community. Pretty much all of my best friends and like close friends are cosplayers.
It's an interesting community. So are y'all? So how long ago was this when y'all first met?
I can't remember when we became mutuals, but we did the Spidey shoot in December.
Oh,
Yeah,
so not that long.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
not too long ago when we first like met in person. But
Okay.
but I'll see her again soon when we get this next one all planned out.
Is she from the same part of Texas, or is there like a little distance between y'all?
There's a little bit of distance, but I mean, in Texas, driving 4 or 5 hours isn't that bad. So
That's true.
because
I did,
everything's just so
yeah.
far apart.
A couple of years ago, I did drive. I drove from Alabama to Texas to visit a
Mm.
friend of mine. She was interning in Dallas at a, I forgot what it was. It was for school and everything. So she was interning there, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's such a drive. And so, and
You get the long drives being in Texas just because.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'll drive an hour, 2 hours just to see somebody because I'm like, yeah, that's not too bad. Like I can drive that, no
oh
big
yeah,
deal.
yeah. I was just kind of like, I was like, I'm so tired. I was like, I don't know how people do this. This is just very tiring.
Yeah, I do get tired pretty easily, but I'll still do it.
And so, and so what cons are y'all are is coming up that you're gonna go to?
So my next one is WeebCon in Dallas in April.
Oh, okay,
And
it's coming
then
up.
after Yeah, and then after that will be I'm actually going to California for Anime Expo in July, which I'm very excited for. Never been to a con in California, and this one's a pretty big one, so I'm excited for that. And then after that, I will be at Fan Expo Dallas in well, actually, I think it might become before. Yeah, I think Fan Expo Dallas is in June, and then Anime Expo in California is in July. So those are the three that I have lined up right
Okay.
now.
Yeah, Sunflower Cause, who I had on a couple of weeks ago. She's based in California. She primarily goes
I don't know if
to.
I'm frozen on your end, but you're frozen on my end.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. You were frozen on my end. That's interesting. Oh, I see. Yeah, let's see.
Oh,
Oh wait, no.
sorry, I
Oh, you,
froze. You froze on my end. I don't know if I was frozen on yours.
oh yeah. You. I mean, yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, yeah, kind of. I mean, it looks like it's back now. So this is
Okay, good. I don't know if it cut out what I was saying or.
no. I think it kept the audio going, but like the video, I could see where like
Oh,
you were like freezing on my end. I was wondering if I was freezing on your end or not. There was like a video connection issue, but I think it looked like it's resolved now. But
okay, there you go.
it's just random. Again, this is like for
Yeah.
those who are like watching on YouTube. This using Discord for the first time. Not well, technically it's the second time. Um,
Right, right.
so a lot of things to get worked out. But anyway, um, Sunflower Cause, who I had on a couple of weeks ago,
Hmm.
she's based in California, and I think she goes to Anime Expo.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I am really excited for Anime Expo. I mean, because it'll just be super big, super fun. But I do have some friends up there, and since it is a bigger con, people from all over will come. So I'm really excited to like see some mutuals that I haven't seen in a while, and also like meet mutuals in person for the first time. So it should be really fun.
how many cons do you go to each year?
Last year I think I went to like four, four or five, and this year it's looking to be about the same, like four or five.
Oh
So
man,
yeah, it's so fun. I love cons; they're great.
how long? How long? How many days are each of these cons? Are all but roughly about the same?
They're usually 3 days, sometimes two. But yeah, they're usually 3 days, and I try to go all 3 days, or at least Saturday, Sunday. Sometimes I can't on Fridays because of work, but
Right. Right.
yeah, they're usually 3 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how many cosplays do you usually pack for even I mean it's a 3 day con. Do you like just pack one for like each day or how do you usually do it?
Yeah, so if it's 3 days, then I'm just bringing three. I know some people will like change halfway through. I can't do that. That's too much. That's just too much for me. So I just stick with the one per day because I just can't do the changes like that.
No, no, I understand. Especially like it's do you ever like have to bring like a change of clothes just in case? Because I'm sure Texas heat is pretty it's pretty hot.
No, I once I'm in it, I'm in it,
Oh
and I just
man.
have to deal with it. I remember when I went to Fan Expo Dallas last year in Shinobu, which is such a comfortable cosplay, but it ended up being really hot when walking back to the car because it was in June or July, and it was an all black costume and had the layer on top, and it was bad, but just gotta power through. I was just walking as fast as I could to the car to get into the AC again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well yeah, I
Yeah.
bet because I man it's hot for sure. That is true.
Hmm.
Um
Hmm.
So what's some future cosplays that you're working on right now?
Right now, um, I may be trying to do Jean from this anime called Case Study of Vanitas. It came out like last year, I think. Um, I don't know how big the fan base is, but I really liked it. And two of the voice actors are going to be at WeebCon, so I was like, maybe I should get her and take her. So I might be investing in that. But I'd love to do Power from Chainsaw Man.
Okay.
Um, For Fan Expo Dallas, I'm planning to do Princess Daisy from Nintendo. So she's gonna be one that I'll have in the works soon. But yeah, I actually just finished up like doing a bunch of new ones. Like I just pumped out Junko Inashima from Danganronpa, just did Makima from Chainsaw Man, just did Belle from the anime film Belle. So I'm kind of in that period where it's like a lull where I'm not like really actively working on something right now. It's just like, oh, maybe I'll do this or like I'll plan for the future because I just got done with like actually getting a bunch of new cosplays done. So
Oh, okay. That's
yeah,
interesting. Um,
yeah.
well, I look forward to seeing all of them.
Thank you.
Yeah, they all look pretty cool. So, I can't remember where. It may have been TikTok or Instagram where I came across your page. I don't remember which one it was. It was one of those two though.
Oh, gotcha.
So, I was just like, oh, you know what? I like. No, wait, no. It was Instagram because it was the picture I mentioned with you and Isabel and doing the Spider-Man,
Oh,
it was that one, and that's how I ended up managing to message both of you about doing an episode was because of that.
right.
I think I maybe messaged the third person that was in that picture with y'all. I don't remember if I did or not, but I was like, you know what? Let me just invite all three and see how this works out.
Yeah,
And so,
that's awesome. Yeah, that was such a fun shoot, and I love all the pictures we got. I still have a bunch more to post from it, but it was really fun.
oh yeah, definitely so. So, but yeah, I look forward to seeing what else you come up with. That's for sure.
Thank you. It's been fun, and I'm having a good time.
You definitely do the thing that you love to do. So that is definitely true. Um, but other than that, I think this is a good place to wrap up this episode. As per usual, you guys should be seeing on screen now, but these are the ways that you can follow and support. But for those who are listening on podcast, tell us how to find you.
So you can find me at underscore Hannah Dove underscore on both TikTok and Instagram. And that's Hannah with an H at the end.
And so definitely go and show her some love and support. She does such great work with her cosplays. And this has been very fun to have her on and just chat.
Yeah, I had a great time. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem. No problem. And you guys know the drill. You hit that like and subscribe button. Uh, be sure to check out the channel. There's a little bit of a low right now for this week. We just finished up our Halo Reach series and our Grand Theft Auto Vice City series. But we've also, with March now approaching, we're about to start Halo Combat Evolved and Season 3 of Telltale's The Walking Dead. So be sure you're subscribed for the channel for all that. As per usual, you guys have a great week/weekend, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.